Folks, it's now time for our Scripps News Focus and a story you won't hear about anywhere else tonight. There's certainly no shortage of young social media influencers these days. They're sometimes called, quote, Kidfluencers. And they're making their mark on big platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Some are making some big bucks too. Experts say social media monetization can bring in as much as $15,000 for one branded post. I have the wrong job, clearly. But many parents have taken this opportunity to pocket their child's earnings and force them to continue working in these digital environments. That's where a new law in Illinois comes in.
What we're talking about in this bill is what happens when a child, their family vlogs them and distributes it and monetizes it, makes a lot of money, much like when back in the 30s, 1930s, when Jackie Coogan was a child actor. They created a law, that Coogan's Law, that helped set up a trust fund so that that child actor would have something when they turned to majority age to be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor.
That was State Senator David Kohler, who sponsored the legislation, speaking back in March. It covers children under the age of 16 featured in monetized online platforms, including video blogs, aka vlogs. The law allows these child influencers to sue if a portion of their earnings aren't set aside in a trust. The legislation is the first of its kind to specifically target young content creators, but legal experts say actually putting this into practice could get sticky. Joining me now to chew over this a bit more is Adam Zayed. He's a personal injury trial attorney based in Chicago, where this is all taking place. Adam, thank you so much for joining us. What prompted this new law? I mean, has there been a rise of instances in Illinois where parents are pocketing the money from content made by or featuring their kids?
That's a good question. In this particular case, this is sort of government working the way that you might want it to. A young lady, she was a minor, wrote to her local politician, and he sponsored the bill based on the inspiration from a letter.
Yeah. Adam,
Yeah, I mean, like,
what
was there a
exactly?
rise?
Mhm. Please continue. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
saying.
there. Yeah, my thought is that there hasn't been a rise per se in the state of Illinois, but Illinois is definitely getting ahead of this issue that is sweeping through the country. And as you referred to and as you mentioned, uh, this is something that is generating a lot of income for families who are putting their children in front of cameras and having them go up on these platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And it's a big question. What's going to happen with this money? And a lot of these children lack the capacity to choose whether they're going to be involved or not. At the end of the day, I think that it's good that a state like Illinois got ahead of it and they have decided to get some legislation to protect these kids. We can do better than they were doing in 1931 for Coogan, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Coogan's Law. Part of this law says that children under 16 are entitled to compensation if they're featured in at least 30% of the content in a 30-day period. Does it matter how much they are featured in a piece of content? I mean, if I have 10 videos, all 10 minutes long, and three of them have my child, I don't have any children, but three of them have my child briefly shown for about 3 seconds each, does that qualify?
No, that's not going to qualify. This is a law that is grounded in justice and reasonability, in my opinion. So 3 seconds isn't going to qualify. The qualifications for this video are that the child has to be in 30% of the videos over the past 30 days. And, at the end of the day, a lot of these children are in every video. And then they have to be, so then if they're in 30% of the videos, then the child's compensation is 50% of the time that they are in the video. So
Mm,
if the child is in the video for 100%, then they get 50% of the compensation.
Yeah. Okay. That helps clear things up a bit here because as we're going through it, I'm starting to understand even more about how this may apply to content creators. The biggest question here, what's the enforcement mechanism? Who's actually checking to make sure parents or guardians are operating above board here? And, are they scrubbing through these videos to ensure something unlawful isn't going on?
Well, this law does uh, require a lot of good faith from the parents. So technically, you're absolutely right. The parents are supposed to sort of scrub the amount of time that the child is in the video, and then based on that, take that percent of the income based on what we just discussed, and then put it into a trust account for the child. That's a lot on the parents, if you ask me. I mean, are they all going to comply? Is it going to be above board? Is every parent going to look out for the best interest of their kid? I hope so. But then is the remedy if the parent doesn't look out for the child pursuant to the statute? Is that the child can file a lawsuit against the parent once they turn 18. There's no other remedy. They can file a lawsuit against the parent once they turn 18. If I would like to see a private remedy carved out so that the child can actually have a cause of action against the social media company or even the brand. Sometimes brands pay for those posts, like you were describing. The child can maintain a cause of action against these groups who are, there's kind of like this enigma where children sometimes aren't even allowed to have an account on YouTube. However, they can rake in millions and millions of dollars as so-called kidfluencers.
Right. Very curious to see how this shakes out, especially as this law goes into effect, I believe, at the beginning of next year. Adam Zayed, a Chicago based personal injury trial attorney, thank you so much for your time and insight tonight. We really appreciate you breaking down this new law.
My pleasure. Thank you.